Good afternoon, guys. MWUSA Season 4, Episode 149. I can't believe how fast time is going. I am just leaving home. It is a Sunday afternoon. We are going to skip our first casino because there is not enough value there, and that'll save us an hour and a half. And we're going to move on to our second casino. I've got about 130 miles range right now on the car, so we will have to fill up before we get to our first casino. It is Sunday afternoon, about 1:45 p.m., just heading out for the day. Temperature outside is 92 degrees with a feels like 100 outside right now. Is that sick? Is that sick or what? 100 degrees is what it feels like out there. You know, what's interesting is I use Nest for my home thermostat. It looks like, let's see what this heat advisory says here. Heat advisory up to 103, so we're at 100 anyway. And I was looking at the Nest just to see if my house is keeping up with the temperature outside and everything. This is only 50% humidity right now. But I noticed that Nest had a message that said, I think it's gone now, but that the temperature was adjusted up by 1 degree in the house because of peak energy usage to save power. You know what? I don't care about your peak energy usage. I'm sweating here. I want to be comfortable. I'm paying for it anyway. Save money somewhere else. Don't take it out of me. You know what I'm saying? Just like with Vegas, where they say, don't water your lawn. You can't even have a lawn anymore. Then the Bellagio has a 50 million gallon fountain in the front or whatever it is. Are you kidding? you instead of supplying the whole city with water to have nice green lawns and, whatever. So don't put it all on me to do your preservation for you. Find another way to do it. So anyway, right now we are just heading out for the day. Like I said, we are a long way away from our first stop, and we're going to get on it here. Everything is looking good. I was watching some YouTube videos that gave me some ideas about how to possibly get back into places that I may or may not be welcome anymore. Something long term may take 3 or 4 months, but I'm thinking about it. I'm going to look into it and see if it's worthwhile. So that's something there. I did, the reason I didn't update you on my May numbers, time is going so fast. I was in June before I knew it, and I hadn't even updated my charts. So I'd updated my spreadsheet, but then I have another chart on the side that breaks it down: blackjack, slots, credit cards, other things that I do, stuff like that, and I hadn't even updated it. So I looked at it this morning for the month of May, and it actually does not include all the numbers. Some of them moved into June because I haven't put it on my chart yet. So actually I've made more money than what I've discussed, but I haven't moved some of the stuff into the chart yet. But for the month of May, I made $26,303, so plus $26,303. Now, if I can continue making that amount of money for the rest of the year, I would actually be ahead for the year by about $9,000. So our goal is to try to do that. I don't know where I am for this month. I don't think I'm anywhere close to that at this point, but it's still early. What's today? What is it? Oh, it's the 22nd already. I should have checked out where I was for this month. I would estimate we're probably at 15. That would be my guess. Maybe 16 for the month. So we're doing good. We just have to keep busting it, keep working hard, keep doing all the right things. And how did you like Coach's episode? I just want to get you guys' feedback. He is going to have another episode coming up about a trip that he took to Reno, so be looking for that. That may be coming out next Saturday. And give me your feedback on 5 a.m. I've gotten feedback all over the board. It's not worth it because the police officer would have to pay for it to... You're right, MW. In the past, what's happened with lawsuits when Indian tribes have been sued, or when individual security officers or police have been sued for violating people's civil rights, is their department or their tribe is paid for whatever fines there was. So obviously these cops were working on behalf of the tribe, being told to do something, when that police officer took 5 or 10 minutes to get back to 5 a.m. to get up to his car. She was obviously talking to someone. She wasn't just sitting there. She didn't know who he was. She had no idea what was going on, you know. So all she knew was he supposedly cheated, which he didn't cheat. He was never charged with cheating. So why did you pull him over? You violated his civil rights. She obviously talked to somebody who said to do that. When he sat in the jail cell for 2.5 hours, what were they doing? They were obviously discussing what to do and what the law is and how to get around it and what to say. When he hired a lawyer from that area, what did he do? He didn't talk to him for the longest time, till the last possible minute, until he was in front of the judge, and he hadn't even reviewed the video that proves that they violated his civil rights. What does that mean? Why were other lawyers not willing to take the case? Because they don't want to go against the Indian tribe, because they operate in that area. I've seen this stuff before. I've tried to sue a big company before, and every lawyer says, you know what, this is a small town. Everybody in town has a retainer with that company so that we won't sue them. So it's almost impossible to sue that company unless you waste even more money to bring in an outside lawyer to come sue on your behalf. So, I mean, these are tactics that people use. So I'm telling you, in my opinion, there's a case there. If Bob Nersessian or Bob Loeb said there isn't, then there isn't. But in my opinion, there is. And I think we need to take this cause up. And you know what? When I'm in the South, I'm going to go out of my way to go to that casino, to take advantage of that casino, take money from that casino. I will have the video rolling. Believe me, I'll have the video rolling. I will sue their ass. Believe me. Fourth Amendment, please put me in jail down there. I'm begging you, please put me in jail and see what happens, because I will take it up if I have to. I will have everything on video. I will document everything. I will take notes. I will audio record everything. I will journal everything. I'll have so much evidence against them. I will ask for every bit of video. That is such a travesty what they did to him. And for someone out of this country to be treated that way, and this is how you represent the United States of America, you filthy people, shame on you. Shame on you. Anyway, all right, that's my rant for the day. Heading out to my first casino. I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, stopping for our first fuel fill up. Oops. Oh, hold on a second here. This thing's gonna start talking, which we don't want. All right. Yeah, last thing we need is the map to start telling us where we are. All right, stopping for fuel for the first time today. Prices are up, obviously, with all the global tensions and stuff going on right now. So looks like we're going to be filling up for about, I don't know exactly, probably around 290, 285, something like that. This is one of the unique gas stations in the area that has 88 fuel instead of 87. Its makeup is a little bit different, but I think it actually burns cleaner than 87. And it's a new gas station, so because of that, they have discounts and stuff going on. So, and my wife has a card at this place, so I got a picture of her card, and I use that for discounts as well. So all that together makes a good price. And then after this, we're only about 50 miles away from our first casino, and hopefully have some good variance there, and we start the day off well. So stopping for gas right now, and I'll be back to update you after our first casino. Alright guys, I am back. Not much happening there. There's only one machine I couldn't check. Everything else was nothing. So no opportunity in there. Lots of other people in there checking things. Talked to a guy who's been there all day. He gave me the lowdown on the machines that were close that some people might play, but none of those are anything that I would play. So didn't find anything in there. I did have $20 in free play. I converted that into $20 in cash, and I am just leaving, heading on to the next casino, where it's going to be more blackjack. Almost everything we do at this place is going to be blackjack. So this is our opportunity to make the good money today. I'm not too worried about any kind of heat here right now, so we'll see how it goes down. But obviously I always have my guard up, but I feel like I'm in good shape right now. So just continuing our trip. Extremely hot outside. I see a lot of cars, looks like coming back from vacations and things like that, which is nice for everybody. As for our vacation, we decided not to take one in July after all, so we're gonna still go on our cruise, but no family vacation in July. We're gonna do something in December instead, so probably just after Christmas, maybe go to Florida or somewhere like that. So we'll see what happens with that. I'll be working on that a little bit. This week I'll be focused on my trip to Vegas beginning of August, getting hotels and flights, stuff like that. I have my second, I already used my 7 stars trip, but I think I still have my Diamond Plus trip where you get $500 for going. And maybe we'll give them a little bit of blackjack action, 1 to 5 spread or something like that on the lower limit table. Maybe I think 1 to 10 is okay at Caesars. Just don't go nuts. Low limit 1 to 10 should be fine. So gonna get that all planned this week. Get the flight, get all the other stuff in order, and then I'll let you guys know exact information. Already got the days off, and we'll probably be meeting with some friends out there as well. So that's what's going on right now. It's a scalding hot day. Feels like 103 right now, and I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back, and that was not great. I mean, it worked out, but something happened while I was in there. I go in, and it's been hot. I walk in, I'm looking around at machines. I find one little play that. I'm ahead $5. Okay, $5. I go to the blackjack table, sit down, lower limit, $25 table, buy in for $300, start playing, and then somebody came to the table a little while later. That was okay. I was still okay. She was fine, no issues. I think I played with this older lady before, and didn't have any problem. She likes to play the side bets, and that can get a little bit aggravating, but it was okay. So then I go through this mean section where it was just like, no matter what you did, no matter what the count was, you're going to lose every hand. And interestingly, when I first got to that table, I was sitting there by myself. I think I won the first 9 or 10 hands, but I'm min betting the whole time, and everyone, like dealers, can't understand that. They're going to blow a gasket when you do that, because they're like, you won that many hands, why aren't you raising? You could be up all this money. Yeah, I could be up or I could be down. So then the count starts going up finally, and by then things are turning around and going the other way. So I lose that 300. I buy in for 300 more. That lasts me about a minute. Buy in for 300 more, and I'm down to my last $50, and then things start to turn around. And then at the shoe ends, go through another shoe. That one's okay, make a couple hundred. That shoe ends, I'm down about 600. Then the next shoe was a solid shoe. Count going up the whole shoe. I'm raising with the count, doing all the right things, and that shoe ahead. And I mean, at that point, now all of a sudden the pit boss was interested in the table. Before that, he wasn't even around. So now he's seeing me bet $250 a hand, when I started the shoe at 200. He watches for a minute from the other table, and I acted it up real nice. Like, oh, thank God I won that hand, and oh, please, come on, all this stuff, all the stupid stuff that people do. And I ended up leaving that table ahead $337.50. So then I go to a different area to look at blackjack, and while I'm there, the lights dim, and I'm like, okay, that's weird. And then they come right back up like a minute later. So I come out to the main floor, and okay, so I went back to the main floor, and most of the machines were down. They were all like rebooting. Everybody's upset. I'm like, I'm glad I'm not you guys. I sit down, I play a machine. That one must have not rebooted, but I guess it got disconnected from the network or something like that. I put $100 in, and I cash out $100, so broke even on the machine, like to the penny. And I push it, and it locks it up. It says hand pay. Okay, hand pay. Broke even. Waiting, nothing. Waiting. Someone comes by. Oh yeah, I'll get somebody for you. Nothing. 40 minutes to get that $100. Then when I finally get the $100, they have to sign it. Like it comes out of the machine, but it can't verify with the network, but it printed. So the guy has to sign it and put his numbers on it. And then you go to the cashier, and the cashier's got 100 people in line. So I go to the high limit cashier, cash it out there, go back to looking at tables again. There was like 2 or 3 people in line at the high limit cashier, where the other one was like ridiculous. So then I go back to looking at Blackjack again, find another table. I've got a couple purple chips now in my pocket, and buy in for 500, start playing, and lose that very quickly. Buy in for the other one and start playing. I'm down to my last bet, because it was a $200 bet. I ended up winning that bet, and then next shoe started, just struggling, and then by the end of that shoe, I'm actually ahead 550. So decent comeback, just like the last 2 hands. I got like a 20 and a blackjack, and put me ahead 550. And I said, oh man, I'm ahead $50 for the day. I'm so happy. And I left, even though I was up 550. So then I went back to the same cashier in the high limit, and she cashed me out. And then I found one other play on a slot machine, played that one, another $5. So overall, I had 2 sessions of blackjack. One was plus 337.50. The other one was plus 550. 2 sessions of slots, total $10. And we're moving on now to another casino. And hopefully things are a little bit better here. So I think what happened was too much power was being drawn because of the heat, air conditioners running, all that. But I'm surprised the backup power wouldn't have come up before the interruption in power. That was kind of strange, I think. So, but whatever. It all worked out in the end, and I was going to leave as soon as they paid me, but I'm like, I'm already here. I've wasted so much time already. Let's try to do another session of blackjack, and all that worked out. So everything is good, and we're going to move on to another casino, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, I am back. It is hot. That casino didn't have working air conditioning, so it was actually hotter inside than outside. I went to the parking garage, and it was cooler than inside the casino. That's pretty bad. I looked for a table to play. No good. Double deck, no good. Their double deck's not good anyway. I looked at high limit. There was a $50 table, 5 people on it, and the girl had a 16 against an 8, a hard 16, and I was thinking about it for 2 minutes, so there's no way I'm playing that table. So I ended up just leaving. I did play a couple small slots and ended the session ahead $56, but it was so hot in there, so disgusting, and people were in there sweating, playing, smoking, sweating, playing. It's like so bad. I mean, I don't know. If I wasn't gambling to make money, I don't think I would have stayed. There was no way. I mean, I went through the whole place, checked everything out, and there was one borderline play that I left, but the EV on it was so small anyway. The downside was way bigger than the upside. So, but everybody was just toughing it out. So that's so insane. Plus $56. I don't know what to do at this point. It's still so early. I got nowhere to go. No other places to go. There's another place that's like over 2 hours away, but then 6 hours home. 2 and 6 is 8. 4. Yeah, it wouldn't work out. I'd have to go there. I'd have an hour there and then have to leave immediately. So We're gonna think about this. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So I am going through one of the most terrible cities, terrible neighborhoods, everything boarded up. But let me tell you something. The houses that are not boarded up have air conditioning. The houses that are not boarded up, look at these guys. These guys have fences that are iron fences that are 10 feet tall around their houses. That's how bad this area is. And they have air conditioning. The casino doesn't have air conditioning. Come on now, be serious. One thing I was just thinking is, how lucky we are to live in this country where even poor people have cable TV, air conditioning, nice house, car, internet, everything, cell phones, anything they could ever want. Well, I mean, seriously, compare some of our poor people to some of the well-off people in some countries. It's crazy. Right now, there's a lot of traffic because a bunch of roads are closed, and I'm weaving in and out of different neighborhoods to get around it, because even the map is taking me right into that bad traffic. So I've already saved like 4 minutes already, just going through these neighborhoods instead of doing what the map is telling me. But right now I'm gonna stop and get something to eat, and then I'll figure out what to do. I'm probably gonna move on to another area. See, now I'm looking here, the highway's closed up here. I couldn't go there if I wanted to. So, and the map is not showing me that either. So that's okay, we're all right. We'll just, we'll drive through, as they say. Thank you, drive through. You probably don't get that because you're all too young to have listened to Beavis and Butthead or watch Beavis and Butthead, but, yeah, man, this is a terrible area. Terrible area. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get some positive stuff in our brain. I'll be back. Alright, guys, I am back. So, this is something I really don't do. I'm hesitant to go to this next place because my experience last time wasn't great. And I think the same people are going to be there now. And it's going to be busy and all this stuff going on right now. I don't know why I'm really that hesitant. I could just lay low and not hit it too hard, but I think I'm better off letting it go. And I would normally never do that, but I have a bad feeling. My intuition is telling me don't go there right now, so I'm not gonna go there. I stopped by a grocery store, picked up some vegetables. We're gonna enjoy those in the car. Did I finish? Yeah, I haven't had beef jerky for a while. Just gonna finish these vegetables, relax, and we're gonna drive on to the next casino. Yeah, we're gonna drive by this one, but not gonna stop. And I'll be back to update you. Alright, guys, I am back. I was in there way too long, and I couldn't even play Blackjack because they won't let me play Blackjack here. Man, I should have left like 2 hours ago. It's like 2 a.m. right now. Looked at slots, really found very little, and then I was up or down slightly, like $20 or $30, and just kept looking and figured I've got time. I should have actually gone to that casino. I made a big mistake not going to that casino. I should have gone there and played Blackjack, and I didn't because I was worried about the same people seeing me that I had a problem with before, and that was a mistake. So anyway, I wasted a lot of time in here. I went down a big rabbit hole, lost a lot of money, made a lot of money, played borderline things that I shouldn't have played. I ended up working out in the end, but it's like, what a waste of time. I could have been sleeping instead of doing this stuff. I got a ton of points, about $6,000 coin in, and I didn't even have my card in for a lot of the time because I was close to hitting something big. So I played plays that were $2, $3, $5, $6, $9, $15 a spin plays, all kinds of stuff. Just a unusually long session that didn't need to happen. I was just trying to squeeze out some more money before I went home, and I thought we had talked about this and said that I wasn't going to do that anymore. If it's not there, that I need to leave, and I didn't do that. I ended my session ahead 79, but I could have left 2 hours ago and left ahead 68. So, and not taken all that risk and unnecessary time and all that. Some interesting things that I noticed in there, just the people that I noticed in there. Same people that I always see. Seems like some of them are there in the daytime and the nighttime. I saw different classes of people, right? So you've got the young kids who are fooling around, having a good time, just turned 21, just starting to drink, doing their thing. And then you got one of them who's super serious and just bleeding money like crazy. You've got the couple who are just messing around, and I remember hearing this one guy saying, "Oh, it's okay," and then they got up and left. They were playing like $1.60 a spin on a machine. They lost their money and they left, within their means. And just a little bit ago, I saw a guy and his mom. I felt really bad for him because he's like incredibly short. You could tell he's very awkward. His mannerisms were very awkward. He was there with his mom, which is nice, I wish everybody the best, obviously, but is it bad for me to feel bad for people? I don't know. I mean, everybody's made the way that they're made, and they are who they are, and they should accept and be happy about who they are. But sometimes I see somebody who's, like I saw a guy today, missing both legs. It's like, man, I feel so bad for some people. You feel like such a baby. I remember when I had my accident and I was in the hospital for about a week, and then I went home and I wasn't able to walk for a couple weeks. How sorry I felt for myself and how depressed I felt for myself. You almost feel kind of ashamed of yourself to be that way, And then you got people who are out there with no legs, out there doing their thing, doing the normal thing, acting like normal people. I don't know what they feel like, when they're by themselves or whatever, but I don't know. These are just things I think about. And I get a lot of time by myself, and, just things to mull over. This is when I feel like it would be good to have other people around to talk to. And I could do the YouTube live right now, but I'm about to enter 2 different areas that have bad internet, and I don't know. So then you saw like the loner playing the same machine for the whole 2 hours and just losing. You feel bad for those people too, and you think, what percentage of these people can't afford to be here, and the casino is still willing to keep pushing them to come back and give them things and come back. It's just really crazy. I wish there was a way to erase casinos and gambling, but there isn't. It's just like, unless you go to some kind of a socialist, communist type system, I guess not communist, would have to be socialist, where they're protecting you like they do in England, where you can't spend more than a certain amount of money. They have to check your background, your finances, and they decide how much you can spend in a day. Unless you're going to interfere in people's lives like that, are you going to tell them how many lottery tickets they can buy, how much beer they can buy? It's like you have all these vices out there, and if you deal with them responsibly, if you drink responsibly, if you do whatever responsibly, then it's okay. But these things are so addictive. Like maybe the solution is finding a solution for addiction. Maybe the part of the brain that causes addiction, that's where people should be focused instead of trying to limit people's freedom as to how much they can drink or eat or smoke or gamble or whatever. I remember years ago when New York put a limit on how many ounces a drink can be because they were trying to protect people, and they taxed it more heavily, but then you could buy 2 of them. It's like, come on, you know? So anyway, that's a bad law. A law you can get around that easily is a bad law. Anyway, let's do our segments. What did you eat today, MW? Well, today we had a family birthday party this morning, and I was there just a few minutes late because I had to take 2 of my kids to work. And they had pizza, the thin kind of pizza, and of course I'm on a low-carb diet right now, so I can't eat that. So I ended up just having like 6 little pieces with just the toppings only, and it was okay. Since I showed up a little bit late, it was kind of cold too, so not that great. I'd give that probably a 7 on a scale of 2 through ace. And what did you tip today, MW? And you know, today I had 2 blackjack sessions, and I should have had 3, but I was listening to my gut instead of just doing what I need to do and not worrying about it. The first session I ended up ahead $337.50, and I tipped $0. The second session I ended up ahead $550, and I tipped $0 on that. No big slot wins or anything like that. I did have a hand pay for $100 because the machines were down, and I tipped nothing on that. And what did you learn today, MW? Well, I think that's obvious now. It wasn't obvious a couple hours ago, but it's obvious now. Don't worry about your gut, I guess. Worry about the numbers, and that's what we do anyway. And maybe I need to release the 10 commandments of card counting or advantage play again and remind myself, but you got to worry about the math and not how you feel or what you think is going to happen. Just let the math do its thing. It'll work itself out in the end, and you don't take unnecessary risk or not enough risk when you should take risk. So that's another lesson for myself here. You know, I'm kind of glad I'm doing that segment now because, you know, a lot of people think MW always wins and he doesn't do things wrong and stuff like that. I do things wrong all the time, and I'm so hard on myself. I'm my own worst critic. And you don't know how many times I leave a place ahead $100, $200, and I'm beating myself up for hours, just mad at myself for not doing something a certain way. So I'm definitely a big critic of myself, and I don't think I'm any better than anybody else. But we're gonna continue our trip home. I'm still like 2.5 hours away from home. Probably have to stop for gas here in a little bit again, and just too unhappy to talk right now. So I'm gonna let you guys go. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com. mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.